for to next month. I feel like that's the best way to start the show.
I'm back in the studio. The studio.
Okay, T-Pain.
So we back in the studio today. What's up? What's up? I was about to start rapping. I had a rap written down. I forgot to pull it up.
Did you?
No, I
You
didn't.
had some bars already? Okay, come on through, Luda. I'm ready.
Oh, do you see? Okay, we're gonna talk. So first of all, welcome to another episode of Two Women,
Two Opinion.
with your girl Marty
And Taj.
and we back at it again with another one. You heard? So did you hear Cat Williams did a rap? It was trash. Okay.
Oh, I know it was. It's Cat Williams.
So just like when Luda did the rap towards him, that's what he do. We talked about that.
It's
last week.
ludicrous. Yes.
He rap. Cat, you're a comedian. Go say some funny shit about it.
Really, that's what you should have done.
That's what you should have done.
Took that shit to the stage.
That rap was terrible. Okay. I think he did try music in the past, which I do recall.
Ooh.
Because he's from. I gotta think about. He's from Cincinnati, all right? What
you trying to say? Like everybody from Cincinnati trying to cut
No,
levels?
I just knew a lot. We actually seen him more. He came to the city a lot. And then when he moved to Dayton and then moved to Atlanta, just like
So
Bow
y'all was
Wow.
seeing him when he was beating up little kids and shit.
Yeah, just like Lil Bow Wow. When Lil Bow Wow he's from Columbus and he went to Atlanta and made himself. So it was, I feel like people that make it there in the Midwest, they kind of forget because they don't make it in their home. When they don't make it in their hometown, I'm sorry. So if they don't
You
blow
can't
up
make
when
it
they
there,
from,
but
yeah, they go to Atlanta or LA, New York, blow up, and then they be like, just rapping they shit. They don't really say where they're from in a lot of cases. So I feel like we got a lot of people that's actually from Ohio on the map, but they claim Atlanta because that's where they made it at. Which I don't have. When I was a kid, I used to be like, damn, y'all got us fucked up. Fuck you, Bow Wow. Fuck you, Cat Williams.
Not fuck you, Bow
No,
Wow.
literally, Cat Williams is from Avondale. Like, that is where a lot of people are from in Cincinnati. Like, it's chicken there. The Audis used to be there. I grew up there. So it made me feel some type of way that he didn't claim it. And then now that
What did he claim?
He never... Dayton, he did. He was claiming Dayton. But Dayton is like...
It's a major city.
From Cincinnati. You're crazy. Dayton is like a pecan compared to Cincinnati. We are Ohio.
So what is Dayton to Cincinnati? Like, is that the suburbs to Cincinnati or is that the hood?
No,
Cincinnati?
Dayton is like 45 minutes to an hour from Cincinnati. It's its own city, but it's small as fuck. It's like Youngstown and Mansfield and
It's like
shit
a college
like that.
town, yeah.
Yeah, like if you gonna say anything about Ohio and not mention Cincinnati, you gotta go to Columbus because that's the capital. That's where a lot of shit happens. Like that's the capital. But come on now. Yeah. Everybody knows Cincinnati. Anybody that's ever toured Ohio, let's be real, they're going to Cincinnati. Because one, we show love. That's a fact. We're all coming out. It's crazy. People probably don't have their lights on and shit at home, but they're coming to support you. Right. The only thing I don't like about the celebrities back in the day is when T.I. came and they did that whole shootout. I don't know if y'all remember that shit. Like, it was throwback. They like shot T.I.'s security guard and all type of shit there. It was a whole thing. And that shit was right down the street from my house. So he vowed to never come back to Cincinnati again.
Oh, damn. I mean, it's T.I. though. I feel like he be inciting some shit.
He'll be all right. We still bumping shit out there. But anyway, what you got for us?
First story up is This Is a Man's World. He's at dinner with about 6 or 7 beautiful women. Okay. He brought his wife and then his co-host to his show. Birthday dinner ended. All the women at the table was like, all right, we out. He was like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm only paying for my wife and my co-host. And every woman at the table looked at this man and was like, but you're the man, so you're supposed to pay. Here's the clip.
Here we go with these dinners.
I got the birthday girl and my wife.
Separate check. So are you the only man at this table? Why are we doing separate checks? It's all women here.
No, but I'm not responsible for paying everybody. I got the birthday girl.
You invited everybody.
You invited all of us.
I didn't invite you, but I didn't sign up for that. Okay, there's nobody else doing
But you participate.
I know we ain't got shit.
I don't care how y'all do
I
it.
didn't order. Well, I'm sorry.
He said, I don't care
But you
how y'all
always
do
pay,
it.
like, you're the only man at the table. You're not
No,
going to pay the check?
if it's-
Seriously.
But I'm not obligated. I got my whole family.
It's $700 for this whole table, and it's my birthday.
This is your podcast co-host.
It's
This is your
only
best friend.
$700.
It's only fans.
You being cheap.
Are you kidding me right
You're
now?
honestly being cheap right now.
Okay, first
No, if that was the case, I'd have just took you out.
are
for
you
lunch
being
with your
sick? Dre, are you gonna let him sit here with a whole table full of women?
I really feel like it's not his responsibility, and when y'all get a husband,
I'm married.
I'm sorry. I do have a husband though. Hold on, wait a minute.
Thank
I do have a husband.
No, so Donnie, you're good because it's your birthday, but the
Y'all
rest of y'all,
hold
we're
it
going to chip in.
Hey.
You need to leave.
I'm not paying for anything.
This is
I'm
fine.
not paying for anything.
No.
I'm not paying for anything.
I'm gonna tell you tomorrow.
No, he's the man at the table. He needs to pay.
Can you please separate the checkbook?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's ghetto. Like, you don't come to no establishment like that talking about splitting check.
Separate it.
So I'm kind of torn down the middle, right? I agree with her. Like, it was the establishment didn't cause for that. I'm sure like y'all went somewhere where it's like family size, like everything was probably together. They ain't trying to split no checks. And depending on where you go, they don't split checks. Like whoever at the table, y'all need to figure out how y'all pull these coins together and make it happen. But we not splitting no check. So I'm with her, like, depending on the establishment. But to assume just because like an invitation went out for everybody to come and hang out and celebrate you meant that I was gonna pay for the entire dinner, and there was no like, hey, is the check thing taken care of? There was no like correspondent like, hey, do I need to check in with him, make sure? Y'all just assumed just because a man was at the table, he was supposed to pay. That I don't agree with. Mm-hmm. If you showed up and nobody was 100% sure who was paying for what, you should have expected to pay, at least for your shit. I'm saying it at, like you said, I'm walking in at the door. We've had this conversation before. I'm walking at the door, handing a waiter my credit card. Run whatever comes for me on that card.
Yep.
I'm going to take care of mine. But have that conversation before y'all get to the dinner. Y'all all showed up super cute, blinged out, and just knew that this man was going to take care of a $700 check. And like he said, I got my wife and my kids here. And I invited the birthday girl, and I don't know who sent out the invite, but I invited the birthday girl, so I'm gonna take care of the birthday girl and my wife and my kids. But the rest of you heathens, yeah, y'all go out to run y'all pockets. The fuck? I 100% agree.
Now, I definitely agree. Now, it was skittish, so I feel like they were just trying to get a point out, and I grasped that point. Now, I agree with him, like, and I agree with her, like, on some boss ass shit, like, listen, my wife can pay for this whole table, but I'm not going to allow her to because y'all should have been prepared when y'all came out. Now, if this wasn't a man that had a kid and his wife there at the table, but he invited all these women out on some bullshit because he wanted to sit around a whole bunch of women.
Paying.
Yeah, you're paying. So that's what make me 50-50. Like, I agree totally with the concept that they were trying to get out on the video. I pay, and he was actually generous with paying for the birthday girl. No shade. Like, because I did bring my wife and my child, I don't even have to take none of that responsibility on. So I agree, but I do feel like now if he was on some player from the Himalaya shit, and it was his homegirl birthday and he ain't fucking on the homegirl, but he telling her like, invite all your homegirl friends.
Oh, you paying.
Oh, you definitely paying.
You paying.
But if it's like
we're just going to celebrate this person. We're just all meeting up for dinner. I feel like there's probably was a general conversation.
I feel like he should have the funds to, you know how you got to put it on one card. We put it on your card, we just Zelle your ass because.
Oh, but you telling me tonight. I ain't paying for shit. You tell me
this
tonight.
Is the thing though. This is what I'm saying. I just seen a story like this, and it was this guy that went to his homegirl's friend dinner, and he paid for his shit at the bar before he came back to the table. So, like I told Sean, I've already been there, done that. I've already said, don't worry, waiter. I got the table. Everybody send me money. I always come up short.
Because somebody ain't paying.
But because I have the card to actually pay it forward to cover it, everybody feel like, oh, well, I only had no, bitch, plus tax, plus tip. That's what, and then they done generated an app too now for y'all people, because it ain't gonna be me and Sean. I'm gonna tell you now, we are already some early ass people. So what I'm gonna do, just know, invite me out. Now, if it's intimate like Sean's dinner next week, you know it's gonna be me, you, Mama Sean. Mm-hmm. Probably our neighbor most. Those are people I'm okay with because I know y'all go. It ain't even if you don't even. I will pay for y'all. That's the type of party that you want to pay for, that they know they gonna pay for. You feel me?
Because that's family. That's different. Yeah.
Big parties. Absolutely
There was
know
7
that
women
me
at that
and
table
Sean
with no man.
will be walking up to that counter, getting us a shot of tequila, and say, "Keep my tab open. I got a party coming, so I can cash me out right here."
There was 7 women at that
Yeah,
table,
no way.
and y'all was dressed to the nines. So y'all tell them now, none of y'all, and I guarantee y'all ordered whatever the fuck y'all wanted off the menu. Y'all got the appetizer. Y'all probably got a couple of them to share. Y'all ordered the fattest steak with the nicest pasta. I'm sure you didn't spare no expense on that man's dime because you assumed he was paying for it. But if I just genuinely just invite, like, are you trying to go to dinner tomorrow? Sure. Like, we just going to hang
we
out.
do that
I'm not
we've done that
expecting you to pay
before,
for
where
me,
it's
and I'm not
like-
expecting you to, or vice versa. You're not expecting me to pay for you.
Yeah.
That's weird. If you're just, hey, we want to go to dinner, we're celebrating this person. If you want to come, that's cool. If not, it's cool.
Now, if you invite me to dinner, I'm like, I'm tight. And you like, no, come. Bitch, you're
Oh, you're
telling me
paying.
that I'm good. So you're telling me that when I get there, I'm good. So don't look at me when they drop
bring
that
that
thing
check,
on the
'cause
table.
I'm gonna hit you with one of these.
But I'm so real that I ain't going out empty-handed. So
Yeah.
if you go pay for dinner, I'm definitely about to buy us a bottle to chill with, or I'm coming with the trees. I ain't,
Something.
So it ain't like I'm coming empty-handed, but I know, it's been, shit happens to good people.
Just don't go to dinner broke, okay? And stop.
Hell nah.
And let's get rid of. I'm tired of women carrying the stereotype that men are just supposed to do just because they're a man. That's shit's weird too. I don't expect no man
I'm
to
a
do
man,
shit
but
for
I'm
me.
not your man.
Exactly. He said it. I got my wife and my kids.
Because if your
and
man
her.
was out there just paying for random ass people, and then say for
On
instance, if
your
your man was
dime.
out there paying for random people and then coming up short in the house, then you really want to flip tables.
Mortgage payment getting missed because y'all went
Okay.
out and spent $1,000 at dinner. The fuck? What you got for us next?
We moving over to identity. Let's talk
Lord.
about identity. All right. So these are rhetorical questions, guys. This is. What's your identity? What do you identify as?
A mother.
A mother. So we're
you
talking about
my
he, she, her,
sexuality?
yeah.
I am a female. I refer to myself as she, her. I don't know.
Me too. I'm a female. I refer to myself as she, her, and the birthday messiah.
Not the Messiah.
I'm
a ninja.
You a ninja? Okay. We got a ninja. Okay, I'm cool with that. We
I like
got a
how
fox.
he replaced that other.
All right,
No,
so-
not like that.
What do your kids identify as? I know we don't talk about the girls,
So
but
the 5-year-old and the 4-year-old.
I know I'm asking
They
questions
will
for a reason.
confidently tell you that they're little girls.
Okay, confident. And these are my girls. Okay, and when I text her, I don't say individually, can I speak to one or the? I say, can I talk to the girls? So, okay. Would you agree if your children decide to change their identity at a young age?
No.
All right, let's watch this clip and we'll talk about it.
27-year-old transgender woman.
I
I am a wolf.
Would you be able to give us an example
She a
of
wolf.
this wolf communication?
No. I'm not comfortable doing so.
Okay. You have kids that are going to school and they're saying, I'm a cat. And the teachers have to affirm them as a cat.
Yes. So now we are seeing kids that are identifying as animals going to school, and they are purring instead of answering questions, and they meow, and the teachers are not allowed to question it because it's considered a queer identity.
Shit.
I'm a 27-year-old transgender woman. I
I'm
am
quitting my job on the spot.
Okay, so
I will
let's
slap
really
that
talk
kid
about
in the
it.
face.
And you know what's crazy
and walk
is,
out.
one thing is I never really slap stories. That's really controversial like this unless I do research.
Is
right?
it really?
Y'all know I did.
This is crazy.
Y'all know I go through rabbit holes, so you can always fact check me. Now I may slip over my word and not, be like, say something wrong, pronounce something wrong, but bitch, you can fact check me. This shit is real. They are really like in teaching identity in schools to where they're telling you I'm Zen, Zer,
What?
with a Z.
What is
I'm Zad.
what is the Z?
I'm so motherfucking Zad.
What is the Z for?
I'm Zod. I'm a zebra. I'm so zebrally Zod.
I got a question for you. Like, does this mean like financial freedom in the future if we refer to it or we're identifying ourselves as animals? Because animals ain't got to pay for shit.
Right.
Animals just get to live.
I'm a zebra.
My best friend just fed a cat in the backyard. Now she got a cat.
This lady is she was a high school teacher sitting in front of the class. I'm not showing that nonsense here, y'all, because if I got to go down a rabbit hole, this is the thing I keep y'all away from. I don't make y'all do the things I got to do to research this crazy ass shit, right? So she was teaching in front of the class, and she said, you are to refer to me as Zim. Sean seen the video.
Teacher?
A teacher in the classroom,
Okay.
and it was on the damn projector on the board.
Okay.
In high school, she
At a
said,
high school?
You are at a high school.
Oh, she was trying to get picked on.
No. This is a curriculum that she had to follow. She said you are to refer to me as Zim, Zer, Z, and Zer, which is him, his, her, he, and she with the Z at the beginning. And so
where is this happening?
In America. This is
where in
everywhere.
America, so I know where not to go.
Or where? What are you talking
Girl.
about? They took Black History out and put identity in. So the student raised their hand and they said, what if you presenting yourself as, because she dressed like a Zud. So they said, what if you present yourself in a certain way in front of the class? Can I call you from what I see you as when I see you? And she said, no, that would be disrespectful.
No. The disrespect is replacing actual words with some made up
with
shit.
a Z. And then the another student say, you know what, I'm just failed this test. I said, me too. Cause I'm Zod.
This is stupid.
This is crazy.
This is stupid.
insane.
No, it's not. It's not crazy. It's not insane. It's complete stupidity. You can't put a Z on stupid.
So when I played that clip, that man said he referred to himself as late. You know, he was saying different things like late, miss clock, like. That's how I feel. I just want to say random ass shit so that I could just shake the tables too. Like I prefer as myself as never been on time. So I'm an always late person. So excuse me, rent office. Like what the zuck?
I'm confused as to why this is even happening or why this is even a conversation in the first place.
I'm so stressed out.
Like, we were born human beings. You got a penis or a vagina. You gonna grow boobs or you not. You gonna be fat or you gonna be skinny. But you're a human being. Okay, that's been the classification for eons. We don't get to just make up new shit to fit people when they feel it. That shit is weird.
No, let me ask you something because you are a supervisor at the establishment that you are. Do you know any people that's in your circle that has run into this type of thing?
No.
Yes, you do. Sean. So she has a person that's underneath her. You know, she just got a promotion at her job. Shout out to Sean. She's been doing really great at her job. She got a promotion like a lot. You know, she get more money a year, blah, 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 blah. She has a person on her team that refers to themselves as they or them, right?
Okay.
And in the lamest terms, she tried not to make them uncomfortable. Because, of course, we're not going around trying to make people uncomfortable.
But it's a hard thing. Yeah, it's a hard thing to like
this shit. So
navigate.
she said they prefer to themselves as I. So I say you. I said you is so smart. That was the smartest thing that she could do, right? If they're saying I to themselves, she could say you. Because they're saying, I'm doing this or I need help. So she say, okay, what do you need me to do?
So how you do that when somebody's asking about that person? I don't have an issue with the they or them.
But
it's
you work in that type of establishment where somebody can walk in and be Zim, and
I had one customer complain once because
I'm talking about employees.
No, I don't have any employees.
No, I'm not right now, but if they coming like out the woodworks, like so my question is, how will you handle that? Because you got to think about it. You can tomorrow interview, you've been making the company that you work for a lot of money, so y'all could be expanding, right? Say they expand, you have to interview people. You can't discriminate. If this is the top bartender that's in the state, they can bring you money and they got the shit, but they is them.
I mean, that's none of my business. I'm not
So
here to
how
like.
would you approach
How would
it,
I
though?
handle it? How would I approach it?
Because I know at the
you're
beginning
you're gonna naturally call them a him or a her. Like there's no getting around that. They can politely correct you. You can apologize, but that's the most that you can do. Because if you approach me and you look like a woman, my brain is automatically gonna call you she or her. There's nothing I can do about that because that's how I've been taught. That's who I am, and you just naturally do that.
Do you feel like people are doing this to
I feel like people are
gain
hypersensitive.
lawsuits and stuff like that?
No, I feel like people are hypersensitive and people want to justify their lifestyle to everybody else, and it's like almost like we have to break and bend to fit their lifestyle. You live the way you live. If you want to be a them, him, them, she, them, they, or whatever the fuck at home, you do that. But out in the regular world,
Don't beat
where
me up for
there's
not-
only two sexes, and this what it's always been for an eternity of eternities.
I agree.
There's nothing I can do about that.
I
Right?
agree.
You're asking for a whole society to change their way of thinking overnight. It's not going to happen. What you can do is be progressive about it. And if you're comfortable with calling yourself a them, then live that life.
And instead of getting mad when
Yeah,
I
you can't
say
get mad.
she, you say I go by Z.
I got other questions though. So if I decided tomorrow to identify as a lamp, that means that I
can just
don't
stand
have
there
to
all
work
day.
for the rest of my life. I can just stand.
And then you can sue.
Can I be a
you
light
can
bulb in this
technically sue
studio?
Your
I mean,
your
you're not
rental
getting paid
company.
though.
That's
you're not
fine.
gonna eat.
You don't have to pay me. You don't have to
Yeah,
feed
you can
me.
eat.
Just let me just stand
So you're
here
just gonna
and be a light
die
bulb.
after a while.
I'm a light bulb. I don't need to eat.
Well, we'll see, because this light won't die by not feeding it. You will.
That's fine.
But
That's
you
fine.
can
So
go
you
to
wanna
the
die.
rental company and tell them if they try to put
can.
you out, you can sue them for putting a light bulb
I can see
out.
Quan tried to put me out by feeding me.
No, you can stand there and
a
die.
regular
I'm
light
not
bulb.
tripping.
What
I'm
else
not
you got
feeding
for us? Because this is crazy.
You have
we
like
living
a
in.
dying body just standing in your studio. That's terrible. I think that's crazy. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and I don't care what you do at home. I just don't think you can force this on an entire society of people. And this is not just
They
here in
going
America. This is all over.
hard.
If you were in like other countries, this is even a real conversation. They not worried about this kind of shit. They got other real
They
shit
going
to worry
harder
about.
than segregation.
All right. I'm gonna move right the fuck on. So, young stunner girl has gotten caught up on. She used Sierra's one of her beats from 1-2-Step. She used the sound and she put out a song. It went viral. Sierra, I'm saying her name horrifically wrong, heard it. And of course, went after her. Didn't like technically sue her, but let her know like you need to pay me for using my sample.
Real nigga shit.
And she, of course, felt some kind of way because she was like, well, all these other palm-colored artists don't ask me for money when I use their samples. And technically, I'm not the one producing it. I'm just the one that's on the song. Like, I'm just rapping on it. Somebody else, like I have an engineer, he produces the music.
Too much
So,
explaining. You did it, pay.
in her eyes, she don't feel like she should be paid or she shouldn't have to pay her because there's plenty of other artists out there that are allowing her to sample their music and not asking for any kind of royalties off of it. She feels some kind of way because obviously Sierra is a black artist and she's also a black artist. So there's not a clip, but I want to show you the tweets. Okay, the first tweet says, sorry, I can't see it.
When I literally hate when producers use sample, these artists are acting like they never made a beat. It's so many people that use the beat, but see, Sierra's team writing me saying that she's personally contacted them about me, but anytime I done use a beat that was sampled by a white artist, they didn't give a fuck.
So how do you feel? Because I feel like this isn't talked about enough. There's plenty of people out here sampling music.
That's cap. That's really cap. Let's be honest. Like, what beat that you use from white artists that went viral? Like, let's be honest. Like, this is what I felt people fail to realize. It's not about the viralness. It's about who's using my beat. You was just on TV. You should be honored to pay me for my beat. And maybe we can work in the fucking future. If you give me a good standard of business shit, we can probably do something in the future. But the fact that you would just you ignore. First of all, I am a mother of 15,000 kids. I keep pushing out by this damn football player that can't stop fucking me.
She got 4? 3, 4.
Shit. So Sierra need her money.
She do.
And I feel like, listen, I feel like the fact that, okay, so if this is the thing. Black people feel like we should have been did what white people did back in the day. Palm color people, fuck that, I'm mixed. White fucking people back in the day has been giving their people properties and ownership and putting them on the game back in the day, right? We didn't have that luxury, right? Once you got in, you felt like you was the only black motherfucker and you stay in back in the 50s and shit like that, right? When slavery first started segregating. When we started making our money, it was more so like, we bring you in, we don't know how the fuck you gonna act when you get in here. Because we know how our cousin and them act at home. So once we bring your ass in, you act good, we got you. If you don't, you fucked up. And I feel like black people feel to realize that I don't owe you shit from my success. I don't owe you not a motherfucking thing from my success. And not all white people put their people on. You just see majority because it's more of them than it is of us, dumbass. Look at the numbers. So of course you gonna think all white people put their family on. Have you ever seen the Gallaghers? They got that shit from real people. It's ghetto ass white people that live in the slumps and the trailer parks that ain't got shit and they families are millionaires somewhere. So don't think that all white people put all their family and people on. Yes, I get that she could have been a mentor to you for future references, but bitch, you gotta pay up. Cause just like what Boosie came from Rod Wave about his sample, his money, it ain't about who I am and it ain't about the race. It's about showing respect. And if I put something out that's fire, you using it, and let's be realistic, you're not using the beat because of the beat. You use the beat because the beat already went viral because I did some fire shit on top of it. Ain't no beat ever been sampled that didn't do numbers.
That's true. I agree.
So I already put in the work. Yeah, get my money, period.
I agree. I just feel like the best way to pay homage to the artists that you do look up to is to pay your dues. And that's how you pay your dues, by paying it forward. If I'm going to sample your beat, first of all, I'm going to come to you and ask, because no matter how she shaped or sized it, even if you didn't make the beat, because that was one of her arguments, like, oh, I didn't make the beat, the engineer made the beat. Even if you didn't make the beat, you knew where the beat came from. So why didn't you have your people reach out to her people to even make sure it was okay? Because there's a lot of the times that shit is not okay either. Like, they're not comfortable with some random artist just jumping on their samples. So you didn't even go about it the right way. You just did it, and then you're upset. She was like, she already pulled down the song because she felt like she it was like, it's a black thing. Like, it was more of a black thing. Like, she should have looked out for me because we sisters, we in sisterhood together, we of the same skin color. And I think black folks need to get out of that mentality of that we're just supposed to do for one another because we share one thing in common, right? Like you said, Sierra got her own family. We don't know what bills she got to pay. We don't know nothing. But at the end of the day, you didn't contact me and say, hey, I want to use your music on my next song. Is that okay? What do I need to do to procure your sample so I can proceed to put out my music? There's nothing wrong with her wanting to use her sample. Where you fucked up at is just doing it and then not understanding the backlash or not understanding where she's coming from. You don't just take from me, because to me that's somewhat theft. You don't just take my shit and then put your music on it and call it yours. It's not yours.
You could have negotiated. Who are you working with? Because y'all could have negotiated with you to pay something on that beat. You got clout and then made a song with the bitch. Like, paid her for a feature. Like, all right, what you want for this is for to be in for the feature. Who you got behind your marketing team?
Like you said, Rod Wave, all these young cats that are coming up in like the music industry, they don't really have that same level of respect as we know from hip hop and R&B, from our genre of music. They don't have the same respect as most of the artists we know as they were coming up. Like, when certain artists wanted to use Run DMC's samples, they went and talked to him. They paid their dues in order to use his samples.
Exactly.
And if you didn't, you got sued for it.
And they shouted him out on the fucking song.
Hello. Or got him on. Will Smith jumped on Jordan Lucas' song that was written for Will Smith. Like, that's how you do it. You don't just jump up and do something and then expect there to be no kind of repercussions for it.
And then to say, oh, my producer, that means you're blind as to where your music is going and where your artistry is being moved through.
You don't care.
That means you don't give a fuck. You're
just putting out music.
That's on you.
So that way you can make quick money.
Have you not watched all these old school musician movies where people got fucked? You ain't watched this shit? You ain't learned nothing?
Just after hearing Taraji P. Henson, you would think like you would want to pay every black woman they do.
Exactly.
Like, it don't matter what they asking for, just break them off.
But for her to jump in and say, I sample white people's music. Like white people are
You
getting
made it
paid
a
too. Like
race thing.
but that's so dumb because everybody's getting paid off their samples all the time. No
But
one.
now let's go make all
No
the
one's
white
giving
people
up
go
their
through her
samples
fucking
and
music
check it.
to see
Well,
who she
and
was
here's the thing
sampling.
too. Some of these white people are probably waiting for these songs to actually blow up. So then when they sue you, there's actually something to sue you for.
But the
Exactly.
one that she used with Sierra was already blown up.
Yeah.
And nobody knew who the fuck she was anyway.
But I hate when people try to use that race card to try to make you feel guilty because you're black and you need to do something for me because I'm black.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's like, how about you do something for her because she's black and pay her what she's due?
Exactly. Exactly. Because you
Makes
gotta
no
think
sense.
about. I ain't gonna even lie. Do you have? We don't even know what NSYNC went through, right?
No.
We don't know what the Backstreet Boys went through.
No.
You think they didn't
I
go
hope
through
to
the
God
same?
that they didn't have the
Come on
same
now.
experience as B2K.
Let's be real. Let's
cross
be
our
real.
fingers.
They didn't go through
Justin
the same.
wasn't out
Oh
here
my
getting
God.
harmed on.
I'm not even talking about sexual wise. I'm
Yeah.
talking about money wise. You don't think that they was taking
I
their
think
money
all
while
of
they
those
was,
kids got
I
fucked
feel like
up though.
everybody back
They were
then
on
was
Disney.
dumbfounded.
They were on Disney. They got
Yeah.
raped by Disney, and then they turned around and got into the music industry. And yeah, I'm 100% sure they didn't make the money that they were supposed to
Exactly.
make. So if anybody's going to sample their shit, they should want to pay
Want
them
money
The same-
off of
I
it.
feel the same way about Marcus Houston,
I
B2K,
feel
or
it.
any of them. Like they worked for that. No matter what happened behind the scenes, they still worked for that. They were not
Exactly.
paid what they were supposed to get paid. So pay those people if you going to use their music. Right, you gonna pay homage to them because to me that's what you were doing, right? You wanted to give a shout out to Sierra. You liked her music. You probably always fucked with her music. We all grew up on it, right? Everybody was 1-2 stepping back in the day.
Hell yeah.
So just pay the woman what she
We
owed.
was doing all that shit back then, and I feel like we felt sorry for the people when the stories started coming out. But if the internet, we wouldn't know shit anyway. What we listen to today?
The song is by Jay Bird. It's called Lucky Lady. He's got like a emo kind of R&B twist. I like it. Make sure y'all check him out.
Emo.
Yeah, it's a little dark. It's cute. Like it's a nice vibe for a little black boy.
I'm afraid that this is a drought we can't recover from. Tight to run forever, not know what the fuck I'm running from. Lady Luck could be my companion, my sugar honey bun. Part of me still thinks that I rely upon a leprechaun. If only I could shed my skin, so you could see my scars within. If I removed my beating heart, would I be ordinary? All my selfish ways are on full display in plain view. So of course I pin the blame to somebody else. And if this all comes down in flames, I will still be here to brace you. Still a shame, my dear, well ain't you just a ray of sunshine? Is unoriginal, merely set apart. When I'd have mean there'd be 10 of you. Hated from the start when I was nothing but a friend to you, a friend to you. Ooh. If only I could shed my skin, so you could see my scars within. If I removed my beating heart, would I be ordinary? All my selfish ways are on full display in plain view. So of course I pin the blame to somebody else. And if this all comes down in flames, I will still be here to brace you. Still a shame, my dear, well ain't you just a ray of sunshine?
Look. We done. That song is called Jay Bird. His name is not spelled Jay. It's Jaey Bird. And Bird is not spelled regularly either. It's BXXRD. So Jay Bird. But it's a dope name. And make sure y'all go check him out. I like this little vibe.
Bird.
Yeah.
He identifies as a cardinal.
And I'm good with that. Just don't ask me to speak in bird to you.
All right, let's talk about it. So, a woman says most parents are hypocrite when they tell you to stay in a child's place, but will force you into adulthood by making you a co-parent for your siblings. Let's watch this clip and we'll talk about it.
Damn,
I
I
was the
wish.
youngest.
It's like, I wish.
I was the youngest.
Parents are
and I used to watch
hypocrites.
other
Yeah, right? It be the same parents who sit here and say, stay in the child's place. You can't ask me questions. But you're also the same parent who makes your child watch after their siblings.
Yep.
You make them tend to household responsibilities, cook for kids, take care of grandparents, give the grandparents their medicine, just depending on what type of household, if you have a transgenerational household, stuff like that. But you're also the same parent that say you have to stay in the child's place.
Yeah.
No.
I'm your
That child has, that child should be able to have a voice and speak as well because you forced them to mature fastly.
Can I dig
You
in?
made them develop quickly. You made them become an adult in the household. You made them become a second parent in the household, and then you want to tell them what they can and cannot do. They can't ask you questions, but you put that on them. They didn't ask for that. They didn't ask to be your emotional cushion. They didn't ask to be your punching bag. They didn't ask to be a second parent. They didn't ask to be a caregiver. They didn't ask to be the person who's taking care of things. They didn't ask to help pay bills. They didn't ask to be at 16, 17 to go get a job and help pay bills and stuff like that. We really want to talk about
God forbid she wears some booty shorts because then she's being fast.
Oh, okay.
You push me in the fast track.
All right, so right now I'm playing devil's advocate because I'm the youngest, okay? I'm the oldest on my dad's side, but he didn't put that responsibility on me, but I'm the youngest on my mother's side. But I have seen it, from my cousins, my older cousins, my sister, my brother. Like, my mom didn't really put the take care of them, no financial was involved at all.
I agree.
But it was more so of look after. Like, that's your responsibility. Look after your sister. If something happens to your sister, it's your fault,
Yeah.
So as an older sister,
I am the oldest.
yeah,
of 7.
I kind of want to get your opinion. Because like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't have a ball to play in this court besides being the person that was kind of caught in the limelight.
Like you were in the middle, yeah.
because I didn't tell you to take care of me. I didn't tell you to look after me, but I actually made you though, because I'm like, Mom said. So how do you feel about that?
I'm the oldest of 7. My mother, with my father, has me and my brother. So I grew up in a single parent home. My mom worked just as hard as I do. She has multiple degrees. So if she wasn't working, she was in school. So we rarely got to see her. So I did take on the brunt of, especially like after we kind of aged out of like certain people watching us. She didn't get, like, she wasn't comfortable with anymore, or we just aged out of certain things. Like she wasn't willing to take us to daycare anymore because I had reached a certain age where we could be at home and we'd be okay. Like, there was obviously rules, but I did take on the brunt of, like, I don't want to say raising my brother, but I was there in the household as an authority figure for him. Financially, no, my mother never asked me to get a job and take care of anything. If I wanted a job just to have money or extra money, that was on me. But I did have to make sure, like, he made it home and he was looked after. There was food for him. He made sure he took a bath. We both did our homework. So there was a level of responsibility, but I felt like it also prepared me for things later on in life. I'm not saying that I should have been taking care of my brother in those stints. Right. But in the same sense, I feel like, as an adult me is hyper independent. Yeah. Like, I don't necessarily, like, compared to me and my brother, like, if you had to compare both of us, I am hyper independent. I don't necessarily need you. I might need like a place to like get started, but once I've gotten started, I'm gone. Like, you don't need to worry about me. Whereas like my mom kind of always doted on him, so he's the baby. He kind of gets like everything he still wants. Even at his big age, he still kind of gets where he wants and lives how he wants. I think it benefited me in a degree. Like, so I already had that nurturing aspect. So when I became a mom, it was just easy. Like, I transitioned into it easy. Like, I've done this before. I've changed diapers. And even, I think I was like 10. I think I was 10 years old when I first started my babysitting business, where I was babysitting the kids in the neighborhood. So even that, like, I was responsible for other people's kids and making sure they made it home and make sure they ate after school and everybody got their homework done. And then when they left, I took care of my brother and made sure his homework was done and everybody was fed in the house and we were all in bed on time. Like, there was little bits of responsibility, but it prepared me more as an adult. Like, it was easier for me. And I watch a lot of my friends now, like, a lot of them ain't in the position that I'm in or don't know how to transition into like actual adulthood because they didn't have those moments. And I'm not saying like you should have been, taking care of kids younger than you at a certain age or anything like that. Like, I think kids should be kids, but it also helps. I don't know. It bettered me as an adult.
Well, how do you feel about the stay in a child's place type of at that time?
Yes
not
and
now.
no.
Because,
yes and no.
Because, when your brother probably, felt some type of way and you kind of like, well, what's going on? Or maybe your brother didn't have like any medical issues.
My brother has Asperger's. So he grew up where he would have like random fits of anger. Mm-hmm. Right? We never knew what side of him we were going to get. And sometimes they ended in like an extreme amount of violence. Mm-hmm. So there is a give and take from that, right? Because I didn't always know if he was going to, cooperate with what I was telling him to do. Like, I'm just simply telling you what mom told me to tell you to do. Right? So there was moments where we would lash out at each other and we would fight and we would bigger, and she would feel like we were just being kids. Like, you go to your room. That's how she would deal with things. I don't think she ever put me in a place of like, you don't have a voice in anything because you're a child. My mom was very much an open person. So if I felt some kind of way, like, don't get me wrong, my mom is not always the easiest person to talk to because she's very stoic. And you met my mom, like, she's very hardcore. So it sometimes is hard to come to her and talk to her about things when I'm feeling them, because feelings to her aren't the same way as like me and you feel them. For her, it's like a passing moment. For us, it's like it could be in a whole emotion for an entire day. Right. So coming to her about certain things when it came to like dealing with him wasn't always the easiest conversation, but she never shut me out. Okay. Like, she never dismissed me if I felt something or if things were off. No.
It ain't about you right now. I'm talking to him. No,
it was never any of the stay. I never really experienced the stay in the child's place because my mom was very transparent about where she was in life. Like, maybe not always financially, but for the most part, like, if there was things that were off in the household, we would discuss it as a family. If we couldn't figure it out as a family, we would go to therapy. We would discuss it in therapy.
I can see that. Well, I honestly agree to a lot that the young lady was saying. Mm-hmm. For older, I'm sorry, I'm the youngest. So I did the daycare thing with different kids. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get that chance to stay in the child's place as far as worried about my siblings because I was a baby. Yeah. So when I seen it, I kind of thought about my big brothers and sisters. Like, damn, they really was like. My mom worked a lot. She was a GM of restaurants, like, so she was there all day long. So,
for me, it's
parents give them random gifts.
It's not the stay in a child's place. It was more so like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to frame it right, but it wasn't so much like stay in a child's place. It was more so like, I'm giving you this much responsibility. Don't exceed this, though. Don't think that you are bigger than your britches. Like, you only get this. Don't do more than that, right? And then being the oldest is also like, I'm looked at as much as like I joke about being the black sheep in my family, which I am, right? I'm also still looked at as like a pillar. Like, the youngest still look up to me to some degree. So I always had to be better, and I always had to be on top of my shit. There was no like, I get to chill and kick it and just live my life like the rest of my siblings do. Right. My parents, anything that I do, even both sides, even my daddy, as laid back as he is, they look at me in a certain light because I'm the oldest. Mm-hmm. So it's like, even though y'all may not have said like stay in a child's place, y'all still were putting me in a position where I was looked at as like an authority figure.
Now that's kind of how I am on my dad's side. I won't say I'm the black sheep. Yeah. Because they like adore me when I come around. It's like, oh my gosh, they done seen the ghost because I live in Vegas. But they I did shit. Like, I was smoking weed, I went to juvenile, I was fighting and all type of crazy shit when I was younger. So they was like, oh, this little motherfucker is bad outside of the house, but when she in the house, when she in school, she bring home good grades. When she in the house, she's yes ma'am, no ma'am. But as soon as she get in them damn streets, she act like she can't.
Wow.
Yeah. So they never like asked my little sister to look up to me. But now they're calling me for advice for her. They're like, oh my gosh, can you talk some sense to her? Because, you was never a liar. She's a liar. Because one thing I'm not going to do is lie. I'm going to tell you the honest God, brutal fucking truth. We already established that last year. Everybody said I'm mean because I'm so brutal. I feel like I'm honest. And sometimes y'all motherfuckers don't get the honest truth. But, yeah, they call me now a lot about my little sister. Like, oh, can you, look out for her? Or, you're doing really good. Like, I guess they thought I was going to be on heroin or something on Skid Row or some shit like that. Because I was out there being bad. But, like, I'm legit like you said, like, they like, damn, she should look up to you. Like, Bitch, don't look up to me. I'm tell you what not to do.
I tell I've told my younger brothers this. Don't look up to me because I'm gonna fuck up 1,000 times. Just do what you do, but make sure you on top of your shit.
But yeah,
you don't have
can
to do what
always
I'm
hit
doing.
me up. You know what I mean? Hit me up. But don't keep hitting me up for money. That's the thing. Like, you can really burn your bridge with me by asking for too much because I'm such a giving person. If I feel like I want to give it to you, you're gonna get it. And everybody know me around that. But as soon as you ask for too much, that shit makes me so uncomfortable because I'm really not good with saying no. Except for this year, Quan. It's the year of Libra.
You saying no
and
to
it's our year
saying
to
no to
say
Quan?
no.
I be saying no to a lot of people.
Hell yeah, I'm saying.
Especially
They be
former
like,
clients
can
that
I
be
get a
blowing up my
sip
text
of your
messages.
drink? No. Then they
You
fucking pass
missed
out.
the whole joke. What, Quan? You saying no to clients?
Yeah.
I heard that.
So, did
sign
you
a
watch
contract.
the show? Because Quan did not.
Which one?
So I'm like, did you watch the Curious Case of Natalia Grace?
Oh, why did I think we were supposed to watch the Epstein thing? I watched that yesterday.
No, nigga, that's next. Well, that's good. Keep
I
your note
watched
to the
it.
side. So you need to watch that's actually next week. So
The one that just dropped, right?
yeah,
The one that's on Netflix.
that's
Yeah, I
next
just
week.
watched
But we
it.
was getting into Natalia.
I don't know why I thought we
which
were
is
supposed
the
to watch
orphan,
the
the orphan girl.
Epstein. I don't know why I thought we were supposed to watch Epstein.
Now you done fucked up. But
That's
anyways,
good.
so now you got two. It's okay because it's two seasons basically.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is about the parents against her, and then the second one is her speak.
Okay.
So me and Quan was kind of talking about it before you came in, and it's crazy. It's like you don't know who to believe. It's like sorry, Quan, he hasn't watched the second. I started watching the second one. I told you I was going to try to watch a little bit so I can kind of see what I'm getting y'all into.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. This is like one of the craziest case I've ever seen where the prosecutors and the defense attorneys are probably like, because in his case, they couldn't bring up her age. They couldn't bring up the fact that she's a child, the fact that she's an adult. They could use nothing, and all his charges got dropped. But his wife's case, they technically can use everything against her and him. He's going to get on the stand against her. So
His
it's
wife?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm about to watch it.
It's like a whole thing.
Because how you go from your wife to some random child that you adopted?
Yeah, it's like a whole thing. It's crazy. Like the case is crazy. So supposedly she was supposed to be an adult when they got her because they seen pubic hair and she was on her period. Blah 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 blah. For the people that did watch it, and like they re-aged her, and they didn't re-aged her from 7 years old to like 20 something.
I feel like
30
she knew what the fuck it was.
But
She was
then
playing
they
the hell
just
out
did
of them
another
people.
DNA test. And now she's like 20 something now. Like to this day.
Can't nobody track down where this little thing came from to figure out how
They
old she
did a
is.
DNA test.
They gonna fuck around and find out she's 75 years old.
But back in the day when they re-aged her and put her in her own apartment, allegedly she was
Is she free?
Allegedly she was 9 years old.
Okay.
If you go by the DNA test that they just took last year in April, she was 9 years old when she was living in an apartment by herself.
How do you know? How do you base an age off of blood?
Well, okay, that's a good question.
Yeah,
but
I
how
guess-
can you base age off teeth? That's
'Cause,
self-explanatory, right?
Yeah, teeth age.
So a dentist said that he told them back when they brought her to him that she was between the age of 9 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before
Because
she was
teeth
re-aged.
age.
But that was before she was re-aged. And he spoke out. So you just don't know who's lying.
So is she free though? Is she out here
Well,
walking the street?
She's with another family.
What?
Yeah, they adopted her as being grown. She was already grown when they adopted her, and they took her food stamps and her Social Security money because she was living in an apartment by herself with like the lights was turned off. And this family seen her outside of the grocery store because she used to go to people's house and like bother them, knock on their door, sit outside their house till they came home and stuff. And this family seen her, and they took her in. She's been living with this family for like 10 years, right? Wasn't it like 10 years? At this point, it's been like 10 years. But at the point they was shooting, the initial first one, when they first found her, it was like 5 years. It was crazy when the lady called in. So
she
yeah,
free?
they took her. They moved to Canada. The initial
Oh,
family.
they can't even fuck with her.
They
now?
re-aged her, put her in an apartment, and moved to Canada.
Uh-huh.
And so a new family found her. found her outside of a grocery store, quote unquote, and took her in. She's been living with them ever since.
That is wild.
It's so many things. So this was basically them speaking out about their part of the story, the first part. Now, this part now is the curious case of Natalia Grace. Natalia Speaks. So this is her telling her side of the story.
And I'm gonna figure out what it is.
How old are you?
Natalia was a child.
She was an adult.
She was gonna kill everybody.
You've adopted a kid and now they're trying to kill you. I mean, it's the stuff of a horror movie, right?
Natalia was a victim. The Barnetts are the predators.
I'm charged with child neglect. Is that correct?
When they said not guilty, he looked at us and he
That's the new
smirked.
family.
It was like watching my daughter be raped.
In every lie is a hidden truth. But you gotta dig enough to be able to see it. This is my side of the story. Do I look like a monster to you?
Yes.
Cut it. So
You out
first of
here
all,
lying and trying
one
to
thing
kill
I
people.
can say that stood out to me, pay very close attention to the family that she went to. They was kind of like white ghetto. Like the husband was black. He's like church. He's like so churchy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see how she was. Come on now, you heard that little accent when she was like, "Isn't like my daughter?" They was in the hood of Lafayette, fucking Indianapolis. That's where she met them at.
The new family?
Yes. So
that
when they
makes
came to
sense.
her house, they said, "Bitch, you pull that knife, we gonna beat
I'm
the
sorry.
shit out of your
I'm from
little ass."
South Bend, Indiana.
All right,
we don't go to Lafayette, okay?
Okay, thank you. So I feel like the family that she met them in the suburbs, a big, beautiful house that she walked into with them. She like, "Oh, I could take this bitch over." But that house that she walked into, that was the hood.
Oh, I know.
The ghetto.
Lafayette.
That's where they
People
found her.
that live in Lafayette don't want to live in Lafayette.
Exactly. So I feel
Ain't
like
shit
with that
there.
family, she got a whole different ball game because she didn't get this cushiony household.
All you
She
got there is rundown
the
houses
streets.
and trailer parks.
Exactly. Yeah,
Family
bitch, you're not about
Dollars.
to come in here pulling out a knife on us because we know we gonna beat the shit out of you,
Mhm.
handicap or not. No shit.
I'm not gonna play with you.
Man, you think if a little
I think that's
y'all,
illegal. You can't beat on a
I
special
don't give
person.
a fuck what you talking about. You think if a
in a
little
wheelchair.
handicapped little girl came, not in a wheelchair, she can walk. If she came in my room while me and my wife was
She's still
asleep,
classified
with
as a little
fucking,
person, though.
I don't give a fuck with a fucking knife.
You can't
and
beat
say,
on disabled
I'ma
people.
karate kick the shit out of her ass. At least the knife out of her hand. You got me fucked
You
up.
can't beat on little people.
I don't get. They scary as shit.
That one
You
in
crazy
particular.
as fuck with a knife in your head. It'd be different if she came with her dukes up, said, "I'm about to beat your ass." All right, you could go punch me. But you came with a knife, you can stab me.
Girl.
Fuck that. I would have. You got to watch it. Because they said she came to the end of the bed. And then she wrote in a journal while she was in the crazy house saying that she was going to stab both of the sons and drag them outside and put them under the deck. She wrote that by herself.
Oh, shit.
Bitch, I would have karate right kicked the fuck
Yeah,
out
I'd
of her little
definitely sent
ass.
her back where she came from. First of all,
And her arms wasn't little like the rest of the dwarf people. Her arms was, she had normal sized arms and her legs was shorter. So she can reach out to a motherfucker. The other dwarf, the other dwarf people that was supposed to, she's supposed to have 3 dwarf families that was supposed to adopt her.
Yes.
They didn't adopt her. All those people had shorter arms. Her arms was long.
she still probably got dwarfism.
I don't give a fuck. She can
It
stretch out and
classifies her
punch
as
the
a
shit out of
disabled
you.
person.
And they be strong than a bitch. Now, don't get me wrong.
I can't take you.
Could they have?
They all could have jumped her
They could
little
have put her down
ass.
and took the knife out of her hand.
Yes.
Yeah, but I would have right off the bed, karate kick. What you got that knife for?
Sophia.
But then again, she came into our house, like I said, with the people. She wouldn't have been on that bullshit. Because she already knew I would have karate
I'm
kicked
not
her ass.
adopting nothing without no real papers. Okay, I'm not finding nobody off no street and bringing them into my house. I'm not doing none of that. No,
And
ma'am.
then one of the dwarfism couples that was supposed to be her potential adoptive parents, they asked for a fucking psycho evaluation for her, and they never got it. That's why they didn't adopt her. Why the fuck you think I want to bring her in here?
Child, they would have figured out that she was really an adult.
Fuck out of here. I don't know what to believe. I do feel like the mom was torturing the little girl. I do feel like that. But I do feel like she did some shit, though. I don't feel like she's innocent. Well, let's just gag it out and laugh before we leave. Did he do it? I don't know. Y'all tell me if he did it or not.
Nelson Walker? There you are. All right, you're charged with stealing a Dolphin jersey.
I don't think he did it. I don't think he did it. What y'all think? Anyways, we love y'all so much. We see
You
y'all
can't
next
tell me
week.
he didn't know where he was going.
We out.
No.
I don't think he did it. She innocent.
The judge was like, what?
She said,
You're charged with stealing a dog.